Hello.
Hey, what's poppin', Benny? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm Jordan calling you from Minneapolis.
Lovely to meet you.
It's so great to meet you. I've been looking forward to this. I've been obsessed with Stella and Steve. Super Lonely sounds so good on the air. It's
Thank you.
phenomenal. Can you
Yes.
hear me all right? I just got this mic. Is
Yeah.
that we
No, you're
good?
good. Am I
Okay.
all good?
You're all great. Isn't it funny? Like I feel like that's like the Zoom protocol now. It's like, hey, can
I
you
know,
hear
like,
me? Can you see me?
dude, it is. It is.
How you been? You been good in
I'm
New
good.
Zealand?
I have been pretty good in New Zealand, thank
Hmm.
you. We've just gone down to level 2, so like we can go to work and stuff. We can have gatherings of 10 people now, which is
Congrats.
crazy.
You guys have been making global headlines. Kind of like how New Zealand is doing a good job with the
Yeah.
pandemic. You're doing a great job globally with music. New Zealand's just killing it right now.
Oh, stop. Yeah, it's
Um,
pretty crazy.
I was looking up show dates, and you were
Uh-huh.
supposed to be here in Minnesota in the icon. I know, right? In the iconic First Avenue main room. I think it was on May 4th. How do you feel that you're locked down and your song continues to dominate globally? I know it's sad. I didn't mean to get sad all of a sudden.
No, it's okay. Um, like sad that I can't play shows, but also like it's crazy what's happening. So I've kind of just been like, you know what, looking on the bright side, I can write music right now. I can keep working. I can do interviews. So yeah, I'm just glad that I'm staying busy. I think it's kind of distracting me, and I can reschedule. I feel like maybe it'll mean that I can play even bigger shows or go to more places because Super Lonely has been doing this thing right now. But yeah.
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. Like, when did you realize? What was the first moment you realized that Super Lonely was catching fire? Like, you leave the studio, you made this great
Ooh.
song. What was the moment you're like, oh man, this is bigger than I could imagine?
I have a little brother, and he's like, he knows everything about like the whole kind of TikTok, like who the top TikTokers are and stuff. And I think he kind of like told me about this girl called Charlie D'Amelio,
Hmm.
and apparently she's like one of like the main like chicks on the app, and I think someone kind of forwarded me this video of her dancing to the song, and I was like, oh, like, oh shoot, so this is what's happening. And I think that was kind of when I mean I get like a kind of a flow of people like just sending me their videos, so I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think just kind of, yeah, getting the messages all the time saying this is my dance. I was kind of like,
Wow.
crap,
I
look
know
at that.
Stella and Steve just came out, but how has your creative process been the last, well,
Yeah.
I guess, 50 days, 2 months?
It's actually been good. Like I've been able to, I set up like a little home studio, and I've been like trying to produce by myself, which is interesting because I'm not the best at like the production side of things, but I've got my guitar and I've just been like writing stuff, and it's kind of been nice like doing stuff by myself in lockdown, for a change. But yeah, I feel like I recently have been going back into the studio, which is nice. And I feel like
Hmm.
I was kind of like ready to kind of, do that. But I've been like bringing in songs that I've written, in lockdown into the sessions in the studio, which has been cool. Kind of, making it
Yeah.
roll along a little bit faster. But yeah, it's been good. And I'm glad that I can still, I can write and stuff. So
Did you bust out the saxophone again?
I didn't. I
What are you
didn't bust up.
doing?
Dude, I haven't played the saxophone since high school. I need to get one.
You still got it though. That's like a riding the bike situation. You could pick it
Oh
back
my
up.
god. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't touched one in so long.
S-
Like,
So you think we'll never get a Benny saxophone solo, like
I
a super
don't
lonely
know.
chill version, maybe a super lonely like
Dude.
saxo lonely?
Dude. I don't know. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'll probably end up getting a saxophone one day and forcing myself to like relearn it.
Why not? Is there
Why
a
not?
lesson or technique that you remember or that you learned in high school from your saxophone lessons that kind of stuck with you to this day?
I remember it being like when I first learned how to do it, it was really hard to figure out the reed situation and how
Hmm.
to actually get the air into like to go through it. Like it's not like a matter of like, how hard you can like like breathe the air. It's more like I don't know, it's like getting it into a little piece of like the wood and then getting it down a little thing. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I
But
played trumpet in high school, and I couldn't do
yeah,
the saxophone either. I
oh,
couldn't.
difficult. Trumpets are
Yeah,
hard.
but dude, the trumpet was easier because I'm just like you're just going. But the saxophone was like a really like graceful instrument, and fifth grade me just couldn't do it. So I feel you.
Did.
Uh, what's the Benee thesis statement? Why do you create, and what do you want the listener to hear or pick up on? Let's get philosophical real quick. I know you only got a couple minutes, so we got to make it deep real quick.
I mean, I think music for me is like a place where I like to be super honest when I'm writing and stuff, and I find it a great kind of emotional outlet. I literally vent into every song, and I find comfort in kind of being able to sing and write about stuff that I don't really like to talk about. And I think that the biggest thing for me releasing music is having people being able to relate to what I'm saying, and I think that's like, I don't know, that kind of makes me want to make it even more, is when you kind of, sounds really cheesy, but like when someone's like, this has helped me, or this is kind of, I feel this, it's like, damn, like for me that's the best thing. And even like when you're listening to music that you love and you kind of, you're depressed, or like you've just gone through a breakup and you're really sad, you're like, I listened to this line and it's exactly how I'm feeling. It's like the craziest kind of form of comfort ever. And I think, that's just
I think that's evident on a lot of your music, especially let's talk about Super Lonely, since it was like, right now it's its song globally. It's happy, but it's about a sad topic. And I think, at least speaking for myself personally and others around me, and maybe even you, a happy sounding song that's lonely, that's like a catharsis, right? And it helps you realize that things are normal and it's okay to feel sad. And I feel like there's this, in the 90s and early 2000s, there was this optimism wave that kind of took over. And now I think our generations are tasked with, all right, it's okay to be sad and happy all on the same day, all in the same hour if you want to. So I think that's where art comes in. Was there an artist? Is there an artist that comes to mind that you gravitate towards as a big influence in that regard, or just sonically?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obsessed with James Blake and Radiohead. I think that those are two artists who I've kind of been listening to for ages, and I think that they're both super, like, they both write pretty kind of sad music. But I love their production and everything. I just feel like they're like, I don't know, they're just like artists. They're like a serious like artist, and they're like a musician's musician. And I feel like, I don't know, I respect that they kind of can write about all these really sad kind of things and make it sound so beautiful. Like, I don't know how they do it. But yeah, I think they've definitely kind of inspired my work.
I like it. You got quite the resume of collaborations. Gus Dapperton, Jack Berry, role model. Who's your dream collaboration right now? Because the world's your oyster.
Dude, I've just actually done a couple with two people who I've like been wanting to work with for ages, and one of them is coming out at the start of next month.
Ooh, nice tease! I can't wait to play it on the radio.
Keep it a secret. Yeah.
I respect it. And as we wrap up, I want to talk about the New Zealand music scene real quick. I was doing some research on it, and it seemed very parallel to what we have in Minnesota. Because, we got Minneapolis, we got Prince, you have Lorde, like these big, like staple foundational artists. What's it like being in that New Zealand music scene, and to an outsider, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming from a place with not a lot of people has kind of been, I don't know, I feel like when I was first kind of starting out music, it was possibly a lot easier for someone new in the scene to be like, hey, I've got a new song out, like I'm new, like this is my stuff, compared to, I don't know, coming out somewhere in the States where there are so many people and there are so many brilliant artists there. I think that, I don't know, I think it's kind of like a family kind of system here, because there's not a lot of people in the industry and everyone's super kind of willing to like help others out, which is cool. But yeah, I feel like the support system here is really nice, from just like all the other humans wanting to do the same stuff. But I don't know, it's cool though, and it's also super diverse, which is awesome. And I think there's definitely like a kind of New Zealand music kind of sound. But yeah, I feel like everyone's kind of just wanting to do their own thing, which is also really cool.
Cool. It sounds like there's a lot of mad accessibility, lots of attention, willing attention, and just collaboration. That's a great spirit. And then lastly, do you have a Lorde story?
A Lorde story?
Yeah.
Not real. Like I've met her. I met Ella at a Christchurch gig that we did, and she's really nice.
She seems like it.
She's really lovely. I mean, I think I've only actually talked to her once, but she's really smart and she's like very nice. She's like a wise, she's like a wise, like woman in like a very young person's body, which is like confusing, but she's crazy. She's like a little queen.
Well, we wish you a similar future, Benee. We're here at Go Radio. We are championing you, and we wish you the best. Thank you so much for taking the 12 minutes out to talk. Next time you're in Minnesota, do you eat meat or anything? Is that your vibe? Okay, there's some great pizza shops around.
Oh my God, yes.
We'll get down.
Do a pizza interview.
I actually do those. I can't like we do a frozen pizza review. Next time you're in town, we're doing one.
We're doing it. So right, I'll see you then. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Benee. I'll talk to you later.
Nice talking to you. Bye.
See ya. Bye.